Welcome back to another Wake Your Dumbass Up morning show brought to you by BigBrainUniversity.com. Alright, let's just have a quick chat about what's been on the mind. Been hanging out with my friends and stuff like that. And just in general, kind of lately, has been a little more topic of research. And of course, all the research, all the different databases of different areas of research can be compiled together as one, Search them all, look for patterns in all the same one. And what's the kind of reoccurring theme is we're trying to figure out what the hell is going on here. What in the world? Why does everything not make any sense, right? Why do the politicians do one thing, blah, 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 blah? Why does the world not just kick a bunch of ass like it should? Okay, so hopefully this isn't your first time here, because your hair you might just not even, if you're not on the level, you ain't on the level. Go to BigBrainUniversity.com, go through the lessons, get educated, and come on back. Tell your friends too. Jesus Christ, can we wake up, people? Come on. How do we keep sending our kids to Robert Maxwell, Jeffrey Epstein's father-in-law, owns the books who 92% of the public schools in the U.S. use? I don't know how many in the world it might be. So the history books, the math, all these fucking books, right? Everything you were taught. Oh, but 1 + 1 = 2. Not if you're in chemistry. 1 + 1 can still be one fucking thing. Oh, get so worked up. Well, you've taught how many people 1 + 1 always = 2? And they just put zero other thought into it. What if I put 1 + 1 humans together? I have 3 fucking humans. You know what I mean? It's like, there's no context in your Common Core bullshit math. You're like, if I have 1 apple and 1 orange, I have 2 things. Like, yeah, what if you make them into orange apple juice? Now you have 1 juice. Yes, but the 1 juice is made of 2 things. Prove it. Prove it. Oh, see, I will scientifically separate them. Oh, really? So you're gonna take apple orange juice and turn them back into apple juice and orange juice? Is that what you're telling me? 1 + 1 = 2, boy? Yeah, I don't think so. So the math you taught was fucking wrong, okay? It was wrong. It was right in only one specific context, but not in many contexts. So you were only taught how to do one type of math. Eyes closed, blindfold on. Hey, little kid, look at this cue card and memorize it for your test. Really? Okay, well, when did you learn adult math? You didn't? You didn't? Okay. All right. When did you learn anything as an adult? When did you learn any of your fundamentals as an adult? Anybody? Anybody out there? Go. I hear a bunch of fucking crickets. Nah, I'm just kidding. A lot of you that listen that would even click on this, if you have the mentality to click on this, you're probably not an idiot. You're probably not an idiot. So you can exclude yourself somewhat from what I'm saying, of course, right? But we always want to have the element of self-reflection. So when, gosh, that was a big crow right there. Holy cow. Jeez, buddy. Driving, for those of you who don't know. We're driving. sipping coffee, which was a little light on the creamer this morning. So it's a little black tasting, which is fine. Which is fine. Sometimes you just get to the end of the coffee creamer. Sorry to segue to coffee creamer, but we got to take a quick momentary break. That shit is so frustrating. All we did was get to math. We didn't even talk about history. Didn't even talk about history. Or, God forbid, the globe. Well, you kids flying around in space, look and memorize the planets. Oh, look at the solar system. Wow. Look at the cool pictures, kids. Did you ever learn that as an adult? Oh, should we shift over to religion quickly? Did you ever learn that as an adult? So we live in this world just based on, let's not even go into whether that was all real or fake. Let's just go into pretty much every American was taught the exact same fucking version of math, history, and religion, all while they were children. None of them re-educated themselves when they were older. None of them were like, okay, let's wipe this all clean. I don't know anything. Let's relearn stuff. Almost 0%. Next to 0% of people have fucking done that. I've done that. I wrote a book about it. Oh, fuck. Hi. Hello, guys. Yeah, you can find it on BigBrainUniversity.com. Please wake the fuck up. Oh my God. See, now that's the attitude of, gosh, if we just wake everybody up. If we just wake everybody up. Well, if that is true, if everybody woke up, oh man, the world would be a lot better, different place. However, gotta pass somebody. However, we could be in a situation where most of this is out of our control. However, I mean wake up to where, like, we don't have to eat shit food. Come on. Like, we don't have to be in debt all the time. Like, come on, people. We can be relatively, like, we can have better slave lives. Let's just put it that way. We can have better slave lives in this barnyard area that we're restricted to, right? Can't go over here, citizens, public people. You can't go over there. Can't go to Antarctica. Can't go here. Can't go there. State owned this. I mean, bullshit history this. Fake religion that. Like, come on. So, to hit on the title here, you look around you, most of these people, they don't know when, they don't know where, they don't know what, they don't know how, they don't know almost anything except for what they were told as children. What did Kevin always used to say? National Security Agent Kevin. You were told what to be taught and taught what to be told. Taught what to be told what to be taught, whatever. It was all when you were children. When you were kids. Like, where's your re-education? What was I saying? No. I didn't release that episode yet. And I don't think I'm gonna. I was doing a recording while I was walking around a car lot while I was getting an oil change. But it turned out to be a bit longer than I usually want to go when I'm on these episodes. It was like half an hour long. Which might only be like 5 minutes extra than what I normally go. But I was also like, man, I'm just walking around talking about how the price of cars is shit. How they're just toy plastic cars. Really an episode that could have been boiled down to do a couple sentences. The cars are ridiculous. They look like toy remote control cars for adults. Remember those plastic remote control cars we used to have as kids? And they do something like that, whatever, depending on the one you have. Like that's what these adults are driving, and they're paying $100,000 for this plastic adult-sized remote control car. And it's literally a remote control with some of these Teslas and anything that's plugged in to a network and has the ability for like it to drive itself. Like, come on, fake plastic trees, Radiohead, fake plastic cars. That's what I was going to title the episode, but I was like, yeah. Anyway, so you get the gist. But one of the things I was saying is, you can go have a conversation with anybody, a stranger, and just start it with like one to three questions. What do you do for work? You know, where'd you go to school? Blah, 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 blah. You know, you can make kind of just pretty easy small talk. You can substitute some of these questions. But once you get through this first and second small talk question, hit them with a joke question where you're like, oh, okay, you know, where'd you go to school? You get where do you went to school? Because a lot of people like where you went to school. That's the one fundamental question that you got to ask. Usually like, where are you from? What do you do? You know, what do you do professionally? Where'd you go to school? Because a lot of people like to talk about that shit. Then hit them with the, okay, well, where you went to that school? Where did you re-educate yourself? And some people might get it, where they'll be like, yeah, everything we were taught was bullshit. And some people might just be like, what do you mean, re-educate? So within three questions, small talk questions, you can get to a point with people where you will cross the road of, has this person re-educated themselves, or are they just an adult level child? Because everything they know was taught to them as a fucking child. They never rethought it. And everything we were taught why is this important? Because everything we were taught as children, it's why we were taught as children. So because we weren't able to question it. So all the bullshit, all the stupid, like, all the points of contradiction, we weren't able to think about it that way because we were thinking about it in a way where we have to memorize it because it's golden truth, because it's going to be on the test. And if we don't get good grades on the test, we're going to fail, and oh my God, life's over, right? Life's over if you don't get good grades, right? You're not going to get a good job, blah, blah, blah. That's the shit pile they fearmonger you with as a child. So we send these kids to school to get fearmongered, bullied, brainwashed into having a full life where they don't even like learning because their experience of learning is totally warped. So the rest of their life is just meeting the paycheck, waiting at the alarm clock assault, paycheck, boom, paycheck, alarm clock, paycheck, paycheck. Have kids, no time for yourselves, no time to re-educate yourselves. Kids are already through the school system again, brainwashed, abused, had everything taken away from them. You know, you tried, you did your best. A lot of you do raise good, solid people. Good, hearty, like, solid children, right? But they're still brainwashed. They're still part of the system. They still had to go through the brainwashing. That's total abuse. The fear-mongering, all of that, that's total fucking abuse. Why would we do that to kids? Oh, it's because they need you to have all this brainwash. They need you to have gone through all this brainwashing conditioning. All the humiliation rituals that they set up. All the team, us versus them orientation. What's religion? It's team. We're going to beat you. What is the history they taught you of evolution? Well, the biggest team with the biggest army wins. They break it down like, oh, well, in survival land, the ant colony with the biggest army is going to win. You know, it's all about the winning team, us versus them. And I get it. That's the nature of duality. But they're not teaching you nature of duality. They're using that to stick you in all of these sports. so then they can use the us versus them mentality in all of your things. Now think about this. The us versus them during the Civil War. We were told the Civil War was fought to free the slaves. So during a Civil War, you have to have your economy still operating to support life, the basics of life, to support the population. So you can't have everybody fighting. They can't all be part of the army. What about the people in Congress and all the politicians and shit? The people passing the laws to say that where the slaves and cannot go? What about the police force that's going to enforce the laws that the politicians are making after the wars? It's not just, oh, there's 2 people left standing on the battlefield. Now those 2 go make all the decisions. So the battle's fought. 2 people are left standing for the one team. Who cares? Who cares what side won? Why would the politicians even care? It's a total charade. It's a total fucking fabrication. Who cares who won the battle? It doesn't matter. Those people are now dead. They're now dead. We can free the slaves or not now. We're in the same spot we were. Just a bunch of people, but they just died. Right? You're in the same spot. But with less people. What are those 2 people left in the battle going to do? Are they going to go hold the rest of society at gunpoint and be like, we're the 2 army people now and you're all at our will? No. The politicians are still going to do what they were always going to do. Why would they be waiting on a team outcome? Why would the politicians wait on the outcome of a sporting event like a war? It doesn't make any sense if you think about it. You guys might go like, oh, well, you see, Timmy and this and all X, Y, Z, that. But really, you have no concrete, solid evidence of why 2 people left standing after fighting in a battlefield with weapons makes any difference to anybody in Congress. Well, I guess the Blitzers won the championship. Have fun rebuilding the teams for next year's battle. You know what I mean? So whoever funded whatever side, somebody had to fund the war. Well, they'll just find more people and fund another war. They'll build another team. Well, not if we beat them down bad enough. That's not the reality that we live in. Obviously, because the politicians are not out there fighting the wars. The rich people are not out there fighting the wars. Life doesn't change for them. They were going to do what they wanted to do in the first place. The war was just a sporting event for them. And the reality for you, the slaves. Hooray, slaves. You guys get it yet? Do you get it? I can go on with this tirade, charade, right? I can go on making fun of this ridiculous fucking fake-ass society. It's a fake society, y'all. It's fake. Everything you were taught was bullshit just to fuel this fake society. That's why you all act like fucking children as adults and think that, oh, look at me. Look at me. When really, you guys, you can't prove anything. And any of you, that's why there's so much corruption. That's why when COVID comes through, they think that they can make you wear a mask instead of honoring your civil liberties. It's because they're all children. As adults. With adult level privileges. But they're just children. Child brain. Poor little child brain fucking retards. Okay. Is it their fault? Actually, it kind of is their fault. Why didn't my friends and I are talking about this. How come these people, how does it not click to them? They must just not be smart enough to look at things in that way, to understand that if I do this, it's going to appear like this to others. You know, as one example. They're not like, their level of self-awareness, their level of comprehension of what's going on around them, they just don't have it. So this whole equality bullshit that this fucking equality pill that everybody has to swallow, total bullshit. Most people around you, not even on the level, dude. They're just children in adult bodies. That's why they're totally emotionally weak. They can be fear-mongered into anything. They still go to fucking church. Like, sometimes it's hard to put, because good people, good strong people fall into this category sometimes because they still go to church. So sometimes it's hard to use these examples because then the sheep, they're like, but those smart people go to church. And it's like, fuck, smart people, can you guys wake up a little bit more? Like, there's such a spectrum, you know, such a spectrum. But those smart people, they're the ones that are the smart ones within the system. They're not ready to quite buck it. They see the corruption and this and this and that, but they don't see it on a full level where it's like, yeah, but guys, all the history, all the wars and stuff, like they weren't what they told us they were. Like, yeah, people probably went and fought and probably went and died, but how hard was it to trick a bunch of military people into getting hooplawed up, send them over into a fucking kill zone? How hard would that be? It wouldn't be hard at all. Especially if you know that everything they've been taught's a lie. It's like, okay, like we have literal sheep here who will do whatever we want because we can fearmonger them to death. That's what they've done. That's our reality. All right. That's what we've been talking about lately. Catch y'all later.